PDP flays President Buhari over abductions in Zamfara girls' school. A Nigerian immigrant makes history, elected member of parliament in Canada. In foreign news, 2 killed as tropical cyclone Fani hits India. And in sports, athlete Casa Semeya hints at retirement in cryptic Twitter post.
This is ANN News.
I'm Lucy Adeyemi. The People's Democratic Party is livid over report of invasion of government girls' secondary school in Moriki, Zamfara State, and the abduction of 5 persons, including 2 caterers and 3 children. The party is demanding answers from President Muhammadu Buhari, alleging that he wanders abroad in the face of rising insecurity in the country. But the president himself was personally touched by the problem of insecurity as his in-law, Magajin Garin Daura Alhaji Musa Umar, was kidnapped by bandits in Daura on Wednesday. As a result of rising insecurity in the country, especially in the north, the House of Representatives has invited the president to address the lawmakers on actions his administration is taking to control the problems of killings and abductions in the country. Public Affairs Relations of the Police, Mohammed Shehu, said in a statement no pupil was abducted and that security has been beefed up in the school and in surrounding areas and bushes. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will meet next week to take a decision on the latest letter written by Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha, challenging its powers to withhold his certificate of return. Okorocha was a candidate of the ruling All Progressives Congress in the Imo West senatorial election held in February. The commission withheld his certificate of return after the presiding officer had declared him winner of the election. INEC claimed the declaration was made under duress. Okorocha, in what he called measures to reclaim his mandate, wrote the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, insisting it was unlawful for the commission to deny him a certificate of return as senator-elect. Reacting on Thursday in Abuja, INEC Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, said although the matter is in court, there will be a meeting between commissioners and the chairman next week to discuss the issue and decide on the next line of action. The Abuja to Kaduna Railway celebrated its 1,000 days in operation last month, and Nigerian Railway Corporation officials and the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Company, the Embassy of the People's Republic of China to Nigeria, were among 100 who trooped to the Idu Railway Station, Abuja, to celebrate the achievement of safe operation of the train service. More than 1.5 million passengers have been served so far.
The Abuja-Kaduna line has just celebrated its 1,000th day in operation. It's the first modern standard gauge railway, not just in Nigeria, but in West Africa. The 186-kilometer track links the capital, Abuja, with Kaduna, a transportation hub in northwestern Nigeria. Transporting an average of 4,000 passengers every day, the fastest train takes just under 2 hours.
It's very convenient, it's very comfortable, and it's safer than the road.
It's relatively cheap for almost all the passengers.
If the Chinese companies have the expertise, definitely we need to patronize them, and we hope that they build more like this.
1,000 days, this has brought improved economic activity to Nigeria. It has brought improved social interaction. Abuja-Kaduna is an example of excellence for the Belt and Road project.
Part of the country's railway modernization, the construction project has created thousands of local jobs. Over 300 Nigerian personnel have been trained to operate the line. Built by the China Civil Engineering Construction Company, 75% of the construction was funded by China and 25% by Nigeria.
Through the implementation of these projects, it has gained high recognition from the Nigerian people and strengthened the bilateral relationship between China and Nigeria.
According to the Nigerian Railways Corporation, there have been no major accidents to date. As an affordable transportation option, a second-class ticket costs about $4 or 1,500 naira. 4 trains leave from Abuja almost daily, and frequency is expected to rise to meet soaring public demand.
The $1.5 billion Abuja to Kaduna Railway project officially commenced commercial operation on July 26, 2016. It is the first modern railway in operation using China standards in Africa. The Nigerian Railway Corporation operates the project, while the CCECC provides technical support, training service and assistance to the commercial operation. A Nigerian immigrant has made history in Canada. Kelechi Madu, also known as KC Madu, has emerged as the first Nigerian immigrant to be elected as a member of parliament in the country. The 45-year-old Nigerian is a University of Lagos law graduate. He was elected to the Legislative Assembly of the province of Alberta. Madu migrated to Canada in 2005 with his wife, who enrolled in postgraduate studies at the University of Alberta. He will be sworn in as a lawmaker in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Nigeria's former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says Madu's election as MP in Canada proves to the world that Nigerians bring value wherever they go. He says he's proud of Madu's achievement and promised to do everything in his power to ensure that many Hamadus, Bengas and Emekas follow in Madu's footsteps. Senate President Bukola Saraki has joined others in condoling Senator Dino Melaye on the death of his mother. Deaconess Comfort Melaye died on Thursday. The senator did not give details of the death in the Twitter post where he announced the passing. Saraki expressed his condolences to Senator Melaye and his family in a tweet on Friday. Coming up, African stories, Mozambique victims of Cyclone Kenneth face disease and food shortages. And later international news, 2 killed as tropical cyclone Fani hits India. Stay with us.
You are watching ANN.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
Welcome back. This is ANN News, now to stories across Africa. The United Nations has asked for restraints in Benin in the wake of post-election violence. Eyewitnesses told Reuters news agency that security forces in Benin's commercial capital Cotonou fired weapons on Thursday to disperse crowds protesting against the exclusion of opposition parties from last Sunday's parliamentary election. Hundreds of people have been protesting since Wednesday, calling for President Patrice Talon to step down. This is a rare occurrence in this country of 11 million people. Benin Republic has long been seen as a bastion of stability in West Africa. Police declined to comment, and there was no confirmation on the number of casualties. Victims of Cyclone Kenneth in Mozambique are facing a food shortage and cholera outbreak in the worst-hit region of Pemba. Officials declared a cholera outbreak in northern Mozambique on Thursday, a week after cyclone winds, floods and heavy rains hit the area, flattening entire villages with winds of up to 280 kilometers per hour. At least 41 persons were killed. Health officials now say 14 cases of cholera have been detected. The government says Cyclone Kenneth damaged at least 30,000 houses, causing relocation of nearly 21,000 residents. It is the second most powerful cyclone after Idai to strike the nation in 6 weeks. The devastation caused by cyclones Idai and Kenneth has not stopped creative energy in the southern African country of Mozambique as people reel from the destructive effect of the natural disasters. A tech company was busy putting together an app that would help job seekers link with employers. Barry Oro reports.
After recognizing the existing gap in the job market, Biscate was created. The tech platform, whose name means odd jobs in Portuguese, was created to formalize the job market for those in the blue-collar sector in Mozambique.
Everywhere across Africa you go, you'll see a wooden board saying plumber, carpenter with a phone number. If they have a phone number, you can create a channel for them.
This presented an ideal platform to connect the skilled worker to the market.
This is a platform that connects smart devices to very basic mobile phones to the internet in a way that is very simple. Our only goal is to connect people. So we can go look for a carpenter, and we are in Maputo. So let's choose Maputo, and now we are in Maputo City. And once I dial in, it will open up our service. So what do you want to do? Do you want to register yourself as a worker? Option 1. Do you want to search for other workers? Do you want to look for your contacts, change the language, or know more about us?
Direct contact with the market and visibility has inspired the workers from various sectors to sign up.
Before Biscuit, it was hard to secure a job. I relied on word of mouth from one client to the next. Since I joined the platform, my business has expanded.
Biscate hosts over 20,000 workers on its platform, revealing a market ready to absorb the best in the informal skilled sector.
The informal sector is huge here, but the problem is, because it's informal, the governments never understand the real size and how much this parallel economy really drives most of our country. The red part is the number of clients that requested that type of work. And what you see is that there's always more demand than there is the availability of workers.
And for the workers, excellent reviews from the clients ensure one has a steady rise in the competitive space.
My strategy for success is to be professional when I'm doing my job, and that way people will see the review and this improves my rating on the app.
So you have comments from people that already worked with them. You have how many times they were contacted, how many times they answered the phone, and this is the rating based on price, quality and timing.
7 years in, and the platform is expanding to absorb a growing number of workers keen to explore the informal employment sector. The unemployment issue stands as a great challenge to the development agenda in Mozambique. However, with the creation of technology platforms like Biscate, those in the informal sector are able to engage their clients, market their skills, and secure employment.
Fuel distribution workers in Tunisia have begun a 3-day strike on Thursday to demand higher wages, leading to long queues and empty pumps at petrol stations across the state. The government is facing rising public demands for more pay as prices rise, with a 7% inflation rate. The government is also contending with pressure from international lenders to cut its public wage bill and other spending to shore up state finances. The industrial action by fuel distribution workers is the latest in a series of stoppages by education, health and transport workers. They are demanding a pay rise of $100 a month. When we return, international news. Tropical cyclone Fani batters India, kills 2. And later sports. Track and field star Caster Semenya hints at retirement in cryptic Twitter posts. We'll be right back.
You are watching ANN.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Adam, go and bring us your husband. Okay, hello baby.
We're in this together, okay? Can you hear me? Keep coming forward.
Wait, stop.
You okay, lean to your right. Keep walking down, keep walking to the left, yes?
You're almost here.
Keep going.
You are here. Wow, you did it.
I'm just so glad I didn't have to use my cane to do this.
And I am so glad no other man got you before me. Let me be your eyes.
We will never stop working to give you a network you can rely on, so you can enjoy life's special moments. MTN, everywhere you go.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Welcome back. This is ANN News. Now to world events. A cyclone barreled into eastern India on Friday, bringing down trees and power lines and extensively damaging the tourist town of Puri. 1 million residents had been evacuated before the storm made landfall. Tropical cyclone Fani, rated as a powerful Category 4 storm, is the strongest to hit India in 5 years. It spent days building up power in the northern reaches of the Bay of Bengal. Howling winds, gustling up to 200 kilometers per hour, uprooted scores of trees. Driving rain impacted visibility while streets were deserted in the state capital, Bhubaneswar and Puri. People packed into shelters, spreading mats to wait out the storm. Activists have said on Thursday hundreds of Muslim refugees in western Sri Lanka have been hiding in mosques as a police station after facing intimidation following the deadly Easter bombings. At least 359 persons died in Sunday's coordinated suicide blast, including more than 100 Christians who were attending Mass at St. Sebastian's Church in Negombo on the island's west coast. Ravinda Bauer reports.
By hostility all around them, these refugee babies are comfortable in their new home. After the Easter Sunday attack in Sri Lanka, an unexpected conflict has erupted. In a backlash, about 1,000 refugees from Pakistan, Iran and Afghanistan living in asylum in Negombo had to vacate their rented accommodations.
Everyone they are saying that we can't give our home to anyone. To Pakistanis, Afghanis, we can't give our home on rent and all. And now we don't know where we will live.
We afraid that what will happen to my children. It is very difficult for us because we don't have anything to eat. We cannot go out to purchase something.
I was going down the street and a Sri Lankan man shouted at me in a different language and he started punching me. We left our bike and our helmets there and ran.
How would you feel if you escape your country because of the terrorists and come to another country like Sri Lanka to ask the people for a shelter, for love, and they treat you like you've been the reason for that tragedy?
The areas where refugees lived. No one was willing to speak to us except this man without revealing his identity.
That's a problem. I tell
IS Muslim. That's a problem, you know.
Wahhabi.
That's why all people think Muslim.
Since the attack, this town with mixed ethnicity has been on the edge, and communal tension is building up.
This apprehension is that these incidents might continue to escalate unless we nip them in the bud right now. So I think that's why it's very important to address them right now in the first few days itself, so that they don't get out of hand and they don't get widespread.
The religious leaders have identified the undercurrent. Candlelight vigils like these are being organized for peace and harmony. Easter Sunday attacks have been a big blow to the coexistence of refugees with the locals or Muslims with the Christians. Ethnic tensions are brewing in the country. Although appeals by religious leaders have been helpful, but more needs to be done for peace to prevail.
U.S. Attorney General William Barr failed to show up on Capitol Hill on Wednesday to testify before the House of Representatives about his handling of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. This has further inflamed tensions between U.S. President Donald Trump and Democrats in Congress. Barr was due to face the Democratic-controlled House Judiciary Committee on Thursday, but pulled out after the two sides were unable to agree on a format for the hearing. Early on Wednesday, Barr spent more than 4 hours before the Republican-controlled Senate Judiciary Committee, where he fended off Democratic criticism of its decision to clear Trump of criminal obstruction of justice. In late March, Barr had released a 4-page summary of Mueller's 448-page report. Trump has seized on Barr's conclusions in the 4-page summary to declare that he had been fully exonerated. Several Democrats on the Senate committee have called for Barr's resignation, accusing him of trying to protect Trump, who is seeking re-election next year. Early results of local elections in Britain showed on Friday English voters are frustrated with the deadlock over Brexit. The results showed they have punished Prime Minister Theresa May's Conservatives and the main opposition Labour Party in local elections. Results of Thursday's election are another display of how Britain's 2016 vote to leave the European Union has split voters beyond traditional party lines. They are also a first indication of the damage Brexit has done to the two big parties. With almost half of English local council vote results declared, a BBC tally has shown the Conservative Party has lost 443 councillors and Labour has lost 78. The main beneficiary of the swing against the two main parties were the pro-EU Liberal Democrats, who had won 304 councillors so far. They hope to make further gains in European Parliament elections later this month. Still ahead, sports. Track and field star Caster Semenya hints in a tweet she may retire. Stay with us.
You are watching ANN. Somewhere in the world, every news is happening. And of course, Nigeria is bustling with news day and night. That is why ANN doesn't sleep. Our eyes are peeled, wide open, so no story escapes our radar. We stay abreast of world events and happenings at home. We keep you up to the minute in the world of sports. We give you information to stay on top of your investments and all the hard facts you'll need to navigate your day. If you miss us on air, you can keep up to date on our website, annafrica.net, and on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. We are ANN, Africa News Network. We do news right in a truly African spirit.
Welcome back. This is ANN News in Sports. South African track star Caster Semenya has posted 2 cryptic tweets hinting at retirement from athletics following a ruling by the Court of Arbitration for Sports in favor of IAAF's testosterone restrictions in female runners. CAS ruled in favor of the governing body on Wednesday that will result in Semenya being required to take testosterone-lowering medication in order to compete in the future. The two-time 800 meters Olympic champion fought against the IAAF's ruling on the basis that it discriminates against athletes with differences in sexual development, such as herself. AllNigeriaSoccer.com is reporting that Bayern Munich star David Alaba says Golden Athletes coaches demanded bribes from him before making the roster for the 2007 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. The versatile defender has claimed that he trained with the Nigeria Under-17s with the likes of Lukman Haruna, Macaulay Christopher and Barbiu Ibrahim ahead of the tournament in South Korea. AllNigeriaSoccer.com also reports it was Alaba's mother that refused to pay any bribe to any coach when the demand was made. 26-year-old Alaba recently labeled the Nigeria Under-17 coaches jokers. Why demanded bribe though? And that's CNN News this evening. Thank you for joining us. For details on these and other stories, visit our website, annafrica.net. Also join the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at CNN Africa TV. I am Lucy Adeyemi. Have a pleasant evening.